Hi guys and welcome to another video. Today we'll be making sort of replacement for Dune, but a bit more cheaply priced. Because in the last video, or in between episodes, we basically lost the porter, we have basically lost the quad. They aren't selling and we don't really have a lot of stock left, so those aren't selling too well, and the porter is getting horribly outdated. 1948 and we're still selling it in 1966. However, I tried to make a replacement for the porter, but we couldn't. I'll splice in a clip here. So let's go ahead and make a replacement or a cheaper version of the... So I think we'll have to go with a family budget on this one, and of course make it manually. Now was the question, what body will we use? It has to be a sedan, so we'll have a look at possible sedans we could use. We could use this. I quite like this body actually. It has a lot of customization and stuff, and a lot of things you could do with it. You could use this, but that looks too American, and I don't want to make anything too American in this campaign. Maybe we'll do a American campaign some other time. But I think we'll use this one, the 2.5 meter wheelbase with 4 doors. Yeah, because in between episodes, since we lost a lot of cars, we weren't losing money, but we didn't make as much profits. So that could be a problem, but let's do front longitudinal engine, McPherson strut in the front, and maybe even solid axle coil in the rear. Engine selection, let's use an existing engine. Now let's make a new one. Those are getting very outdated and very old. I think the best way to move forward, I'll just turn off notifications on my goddamn phone. And I think we'll use an inline 4-cylinder like the old one, but with more modern technology. So we'll go overhead. I think we'll go with overhead 3, cast iron, cast, and we could use the forged steel crank on a more premium model. This one I think will have a single barrel eco carburetor, and we could maybe use mechanical fuel injection on something else. So let's use cast low headers and 2 baffled mufflers. Now how are we doing? It is very cheap, which is good. The crank, yeah, that is to be expected. I think we'll keep it around 2 liters still, but not the standard one, because that will be boring. So let's do maybe 88 on this, and maybe about 85 on this. No, maybe a bit smaller, 82. No, maybe a bit bigger, so 83. 83 should be good. So let's go with that. Let's change the cam profile and stuff later. How much horsepower will we be making? 70 horsepower, that's already a lot better than what we currently have. And it's about the same size. Probably maybe a bit too small for this car. I mean, yeah, maybe. But let's use a manual 4-speed. Maybe we should put in maybe we should make a smaller chassis, but maybe we should use a smaller chassis actually, so it doesn't interfere as much with the 2000. So let's morph it a bit maybe. But let's of course go longitudinal rear wheel drive, a manual 4-speed, open differentials, and radial tires. I think we're gonna go for radial hard long life. Drums in the front, drums in the rear. no no under tray, and basic interior, and the basic AM radio. Let's do manual rack and pinion steering, and standard 60 safety. Let's do standard springs, twin tube dampers, and passive sway bars. Drivability is horrendous. Sportiness is fine. It is oversteering quite a lot, but we can easily fix that right here. How wide are the tires? They're looking, I think about 180 should be good. So let's keep... It's a lot of the weight in the rear. No, it isn't even a lot of the weight in the rear, but why is it so oversteer then? Let's put a lot more weight to the rear, so we get a better weight distribution. Still only 51% on the front and 49% on the rear, but very close to 50-50. Let's make it a bit heavier, and let's fix it tires a bit. I mean, it's probably because it has such a short wheelbase and so bad tires. How is the suspension setup? Because it shouldn't be this bad. We shouldn't have to go with bicycle tires on the front. And the rear tires look already quite wide. Do we go 160 in front? Very happy now. How are we still oversteering? How is that possible? Okay, we'll use a bit more weight distribution on the front. How is it doing now? That should be fine. Let's put it up maybe 30 or something. That should be good. But let's also add a better color to this. And after that we'll get into the time-lapse. Or if you don't want to watch the time-lapse, you could also just skip to the time shown on screen right here. But anyways, I'll start the time-lapse and see you guys later. So yeah guys, that was the signing the Montpellier, or however you pronounce it. I think it came out quite good. I'm not extremely sure about the rear, although I think it looks totally fine. But I think the front came out exceptionally good. Although, and I'm pretty happy with that we didn't go with the dual headlights. That was probably looked a bit weird. But this is the agreeable. Is how you would pronounce it in English, at least, I think. Agree. No, I'm not even gonna try. But here it is anyways. Don't know why there was such a frame drop, but it has 88.4 horsepower, and the compression is of 9.3 to 1. It has quite good economy of 18%. If I'm correct, it also has mechanical fuel injection, which definitely helps with the economy and the power. It has a mediocre top speed of 200, although it can't go that far. It can only go 160. But I tried to also make the cars look a bit different, all the different trims, by making the interiors different colors. So I'm quite happy with this car. Now I have driven it a little bit in BMG, not this one, but the sport version and the rally version I made. And it drives quite well, but I will talk more about that in a minute. But before that, let's go ahead and get this car into production. So let's get these cars into production. And we'll start with engineering management. And it has 46 months of engineering time. But then it's the question, do we go for 3 years or 4 years? That's something we could think about. We usually do 4 years, and then it would come out in 1970, but it wouldn't be that hard to make it come out in 1969, and then we get more profits more quickly. But I think we will go for 48 months, so we'll do that, and then we can make it a bit more reliable. And pretty much like that, we could optimize the process a bit more and use a bit cheaper funding, and then a little bit more. Let's do that. Little less to optimize the process, maybe like that. That seems pretty good. But let's also get these engines into production. 57 months, that's no good. We will need to cut that down quite a bit. I'm quite happy that we didn't go with 3 years, because then this engine wouldn't have been ready. But let's do a bit more faster funding and a bit more work. Let's also do a bit more wasteful process, maybe a bit faster funding. Wait, we're already over. So let's do this like that. That's pretty good. Do we build another No, I think we use this factory, the Mark 1 here, because that should go out of production pretty soon, if it hasn't already done that. Let's upgrade this factory to a large factory. We haven't selected the engines, so let's do that. And we need the iron foundry, which we already had about 4 works. That seems pretty good, I think. We don't have maintenance, so let's get that. Worker wages, that's probably pretty good. Let's up worker quality a tiny bit. Automation, let's put that up quite a lot. Total build time, that's fine. Let's put automation up. Tooling quality, let's put that up a little bit. And let's keep QA threshold at 80%. So let's go ahead and complete the design and then keep going here. Now what factory do we use for this car? We should have some factories. We could put it in the Porter Mark II factory, since that will be going out of production very soon. And it's a medium 2. Let's use a medium 3 instead, maybe. Or do we upgrade the factory? But let's use a large 3, I think. And then we could make a lot more cars, because I think this car will sell quite a lot. Let's keep that pretty good. Let's up QA threshold a bit so we don't overwork the engine factories. But wait, let's not use a large 3. Let's use a medium 3, because we will put this engine into a lot of cars. I'm sorry about that if you heard that. Can you hold up, just gonna turn off notifications. But let's use the forecasting tool. So the final pricing is 5.2 thousand for the Intelligente, 7.2 thousand for the Agreeable, or however you pronounce it, and 6.5 thousand for the Rally. But let's go ahead and sign this car off and get into the BeamNG drive. Let's just put that up to 40 miles. And now let's go into BeamNG. So here we are in BeamNG, and it's time to drive the cars. This is the Intelligente, however you pronounce it, which means smart or intelligent, because it is an intelligent choice. Now, do we have a good hood camera? No, not really, so let's not use that one. I'm not expecting any ridiculous speeds, but it is quite fast on this straight. I mean, we're already in over 100. Let's make the corner. It doesn't have a lot, or I should say, you can't really feel the road a lot. It is mostly just not really there. But otherwise it feels quite nice. I will not try to drift this version though, because that will go extremely badly, and I will most likely run off a cliff. But let's try to make this corner. I slowed down way too much for that corner. I could have done it way faster. It is quite fun, although I wish I had a better hood view than the one that we have right now. Since when was there a dirt path right here? I didn't know that, but I guess there are, or there is. But before we drive too far, let's turn over by this tourist area, and let's change into the more premium version. Here's the entry, here it is. Let's just park it over here. There we go, an amazing parking. But let's go ahead and get into the more premium version, and then let's get going. So here we have the more premium version, which I think I named Competent, because it is a very competent car. No, I have no idea. Which I don't really remember what it means, But it sure as hell does mean something. Just realized I need to bleep that out. But let's get going. It drives quite nicely, although it's a shame it's an automatic. And I did not remember to put in a better hood view. So that is not optimal. But hopefully it works well either way. Ooh, that corner is kinda hard. But let's keep going for a little bit. Can we brake enough? Yes, we can. Hey, except for the automatic gearbox, I really like this. It feels quite a lot better than the one we just drove, although they are probably very, very similar. Almost crashed right there. But thankfully we didn't. Not the optimal line probably, but it worked out quite well. A little bit of wheel spin due to the open differential, but it works. But I think right here, or maybe after this bend, we will stop and change into the sport variant. And I think I call it the rally. I should really drive more in Utah. I don't use this map very often. But let's go ahead and get into the sports variant. So let's get going again. Not center. So coming down to this corner, we make sure that you did not see a cut right there, because nothing bad happened. So let's get going down here, and I think there should be a pretty good dirt road right in front of us right there. I think you can see it. Let's cut the corner a little bit, just enough. And let's take this corner kinda wide. Let's take out this corner and drive in here, and let's hope we don't flip. Ooh. It's quite slippery. Definitely not tuned very much for this. But let's hope we can keep it on the road and drive kinda fast. I mean, so far I think it's going pretty well. Ooh, no, 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 no. Very bad. And we spun it. So let's turn around here. We drive through here. And let's keep going for a little bit. Is it too late to make the jump? Yeah, we're coming from the wrong way. Well, let's get over this bridge. And because we can't make the jump either way, let's turn up this way. And let's destroy our gearbox a little bit. Let's how fast do we think we could go here? It is getting a little bit tighter to the end, so I think we'll have to play it safe. I did not play it safe. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, we crashed. But we can keep going. it is sportier now. We have lost quite a bit of weight, being the bumpers and probably our radiator. But apparently it's not showing up that it's damaged. Now I will have to keep the wheel at a constant angle because it doesn't really want to steer, which is not optimal, to say the least. But it's just what you have to do. What on earth is the engine dying? Can it not make it up this very not extremely steep hill? Where's the jump onto? I wanna finish off by the jump. Hopefully we can make it. Ooh. To the jump. Yes, we can maybe. Oh, here it is. Let's go full throttle. 80 kilometers. And no, we can't make the jump. But I think rolling right there is a pretty good way to end the video. So yeah guys, that's where we are going to end it, with a rollover. And I really hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did make it. Now the BMG bit is a bit longer than usual, quite a bit longer. But I hope it was worth it to show off my not optimal racing skills. But I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see you next time. But until then, bye.